Oh, I didn't think that was going to work then. Hello. It's Charli Wall. Friday, live, set time this week. So I got asked a question last week. I hope you're all okay. This really is a come as you are, right? Come as you are group, hashtag come as you are. You're all welcome here, whatever state of human you come as. So last week I was asked a question about self-confidence, and the question was kind of around, I don't have any confidence and I have negative thinking. So I thought I'd answer it in the live and say hello if you're here, if you're coming in. It would be great to know who's here, because it tells me, it's a bit delayed, it tells me. But yeah. Oh, just to let you see that aside from this great big lump here, the eyes are nearly almost better. That won't mean anything to the new people that have come into the group. But if you were bored and you wanted to scroll down into other live videos, you'll see a monstrosity of a face. But it's all getting better. So the confidence question is a lovely question, and I'm pleased to answer it. And I hope what I say makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, that's okay. That's okay. Hi, Natalie. Oh, I'm here. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. I didn't have many proud posts today on a Friday, like really low number this week, which is unusual, although last week was a little bit low as well. But I've seen loads of interaction on the sugar-free little mini tribe going on, so that's cool. That's cool. I think definitely giving up sugar is great for mental health reasons. No other reasons. I wouldn't, I'm not like advocating weight loss or anything like that, so please don't get the wrong idea about that. But I do think sugar is just one of those things that we use to try and feel better. But I'm going to sort of touch on that today with the confidence. So I have written some notes today. Normally I don't, but I wanted to try and make sure that I got things in, and then if it's useful, then, I can write it out and send it maybe either in my weekly newsletter or just post it in the group. But anyway, so lack of confidence. How many of you feel that you lack confidence? I think I've only got Natalie. So is it me and Natalie are going to put our hand up? Me. I'll answer for, I would say, potentially 80% of you, if not all of you, have felt lacking of confidence at some point or other in your life. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is the lady that asked the question, I just feel that I don't want her to feel alone. So I will guess that more than me has felt lacking in confidence or self-esteem at points in their life. Now, the way I see it is lack of confidence or feeling shy, lacking in self-esteem would suggest to me that someone feels insecure, feels unsafe, feels insecure. And when we feel insecure, we hi Joe, we feel like we can't do things when we feel insecure, and we have a lot of doubts, and we have concerns about how well we may do, and we worry about how we're doing, and we worry about how we're perceived. And I would suggest that can lead to anxiety and kind of fretful thinking. That's how I see it. So tell me if that's what you experience, if you feel lacking in confidence. I know from my own point of view, I have felt lacking in confidence at different points of my life. It's not been a consistent thing. So I kind of want to touch on that as well. So when we feel insecure, sorry, I am looking at my notes, but I don't want to make you think, anyway, it's my notes, not any handsome man over there. When we feel insecure, we don't feel confident, and I just don't think we feel or think very highly of ourselves. Hi, Tuesday. I feel a bit weird calling you Tuesday. I'm going to lose my thread, aren't I? So when we feel insecure, we don't feel very confident. We don't think highly of ourselves. And I wonder if that's kind of the bottom line. We don't think highly of ourselves. And I'm not sure if we think very highly of others, or we maybe put others on a pedestal, or we're comparing ourselves negatively. But I just want to make the point that I believe that these feelings are very normal. I think, as I've said, a lot of us feel unconfident. And if you're coming on now and you feel that you have experienced feeling lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence, please say please comment, so that the lady that asked me the question doesn't feel like she's on her own, because that's the point, right? I don't want anyone to feel on their own, and I hope that none of you do. I certainly haven't met anyone who hasn't experienced these feelings at one time or another in their lives. These are normal human feelings. And lack of confidence, as I've said, is something I'm guessing that you have all felt at some point. So I think one of the things in our society that we kind of hear the message is that you're the sort of person that has confidence naturally, or you're the sort of person who doesn't have confidence naturally, and that's just the way it is. But I'm not sure if I agree with that, and I think everyone has those feelings, and they kind of come and go. They're in and out, and that's the nature of being human. And I think that we're all born with confidence and well-being and self-esteem. I think we're all born like that. Things can happen, like, for example, me, I was hugely confident as a small girl, at the school that I was at, and I was really chatty and not shy at all. And then I got taken out of the school that I was in and put into a private school, and the kids in where I lived in the village weren't particularly pleasant to me because of it. And I changed, I kind of took all of that in, and I just started to believe that I was shy, and I started blushing and didn't want to speak up. All of those things. And if you'd have said to me when I was doing addictions counselling at Addenbrooke's, you'll be teaching women in the park, loads of them, and they'll be having fun, I wouldn't have believed you. I just would not have believed you, because I completely had convinced myself that teaching, standing in front of a group of women or people was just my worst fear. I totally believed that story that I told myself. I completely believed it. Maybe that's a story for another time of how actually I got over that. But I do think that human beings, we have these feelings, and it's normal. And society will tell you that you're either that person or you're that person. But I think the other thing that society does, and I've kind of written this a bit lower down, is where is it? It's kind of to attribute something outside of us as the reason why we feel lacking in confidence. And, you'll hear people say, so if I ask you this question, this is what I wrote actually, if I ask you this question, why do you feel that you lack confidence? Have a think about that. Why do you feel that you lack confidence? And I can imagine that in your mind you might be thinking that, and you'll be thinking, well, it's because my mum was mean to me. It was because my dad hit me, it's because these are examples. It's because this situation caused me stress at work. It's because that's how I was born. That's how I was raised. It's biological, it's genetic. And we'll kind of attribute something outside of us for the reason why we feel lacking in confidence. And that's society telling us that it's like that. And that's all innocent. But it's not something that I believe is the truth. I don't believe that we can blame other people or other situations for making us like that, because that, in essence, makes us victims to circumstances and the world. And the world cannot make you feel good or bad. It's all inside of you. It's all inside of you. So once we sort of understand that we're only ever feeling our thinking and that nothing outside of us can control that, it kind of empowers us to say, actually, I don't have to believe my story of I'm shy, I'm lacking in confidence, if I know, so this is things I've said to myself in the past, and this is my ego talking. I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm useless, I'm ugly, I'm lazy, and I have believed those stories, and I've acted upon those stories, and my behaviour had, and I felt that thinking. I felt, my God, I'm useless and anxious and so lacking in confidence, and I've believed my own thinking, and as a result of that, and then that's where habits come in. I want to make myself feel bad. That's all right. Hi, Sarah. Don't worry. I'll then try and make myself feel better, and then I will be like, I'm going to have a bag of chips, or I'm going to have a glass of wine, or I'm going to have a chocolate bar, and that will make me feel better. This is such a huge subject, and I really should just keep to the one point, but I know I've been going on now already for nearly 15 minutes, so I apologise, but I'm going to try and cut it short. But one thing I wanted to say, I don't even know if I've said everything I want to say, but when I went to India last year, I learnt a lot about the ego and our soul, our spirit, and they have a lot of gods in Hindu religion and other religions. And a lot of these gods have swords or axes, and the sword is representing cutting through the truth and the ego. So the truth and the ego. So the truth is always stable. It's always there. It's life force. It's what keeps going. It's what connects me and you. It's what makes the trees and the flowers grow and continue to grow. It's what makes the earth go round. It's just stability. It's stable. And the ego is forever changing. It's that shitty voice. It's whatever it is. It's every thought we have and every behaviour and every feeling, every opinion, everything that is in flux. Our bodies constantly change, and you've seen my face change just in the last few weeks alone with different things that have been going on my face. But that's just the nature of life, right? Things change, but what's stable is the truth. What's stable is the truth, and the truth of who you and I are, and that's what we want to hold on to, and that's in essence, I think, why we're all perfect, and why what you think you are, you aren't. The story you tell yourself you are is just a story, and it's your ego telling you. And actually, who you are is amazing and perfectly imperfect, and you don't have to believe your story, whatever that may be. So I didn't really say everything that I wanted to say on this live, and I don't know really how long they should be, because how long do people want to keep watching for? But I'd love to hear from you if any of that resonated. If any of you want to have a one-to-one free connection meeting with me to explore that further, just type me in the comments and I'll come back to you. But if any of you also have a question that I can talk about next week, but it will have to be in the morning next week because I'm flying to Crete next Friday. So yeah, it's been lovely to speak to all of you, even though none of you have spoken back to me today apart from Sarah and Natalie. If any of you watching later, please say hi, and I love you, and thank you for watching if you did watch, and yeah, keep on keeping on and keep on coming as you are. Bye.